right, you want to turn your travel memories into cash, while you're getting paid, while you're still traveling, your lifestyle photos and videos. With the right strategy, you can do that. And that's what we're going to talk about today. I'm going to give you 10 tips on how to sell more photos and videos on Shutterstock and these platforms. Okay, so why even get into selling lifestyle photos on Shutterstock? Well, the main reason is I've actually had a lot of fun doing this, and I've made some money. So that's a big win in my book. So I'm a little on the addicted side. There are other places to post your photos and videos, but Shutterstock is super chill, like maybe a little bit too chill. It's very user-friendly. For example, if I've accidentally posted a photo that should be editorial, they'll just remind you, hey, just change real quick, right? Nearly all the photos and videos from the shittiest camera you can imagine, they've accepted. Even mistakes, I'll just post it anyways, and they've accepted the thing. It's very chill. And Shutterstock's a big player, so why not? It's the first place that I've gone to, but there's others as well. So let's talk about how to sell more photos and videos. Number one is, I like this, right? If you submit the perfect photo or video, but nobody can find it, it's not going to sell. But if you post an okay photo or video, but everybody can find it, there's a good chance that it could sell, So basically, these platforms are big old search engines, a keyword machine. So the keywords are really half the battle. You really got this. So how do we do that? Well, the title, you really want the title to be as specific to the image as you possibly can, so people can find it. If people can't find it, they're not going to buy it. And really, you want to include any unique information that sets your image apart from everyone else's, right? Here's an example. Be as descriptive as you can. Adult sheep covered in a blue shirt looking at me in a barn full of wood shavings and sawdust. So the more detail you can write into your title and description, the better it's going to be. And that really is the battle right there. You want to make it as descriptive as you can and set it apart from other people. Because if somebody's looking for a specific image and only your image pops up, even if it's a garbage image, you could get a sale, right? Because they want that. If it's something unique that nobody else has taken the picture of. But that's the key. You want to be descriptive. All right. All right. Tags are another thing too, and that also can help your photo or your video get found. It's best to use between 7 and 50 tags. And to be very honest, I just use AI to do all the heavy lifting. I'll just kind of plug this formula, tell exactly what I want to do, describe the photo in as much detail as possible, and it comes up with all the ideal tags, and I just post it. And you can steal this from me. That's what I've been doing. I don't know a better way of doing it, but that's about it. So it's pretty easy. Number 3 is you want a variety of photos and videos. Now, when it comes to exactly what you take a photo or video of, I don't really think nobody has the exact answer for that. I mean, it kind of depends. But what you don't want is the same photo, for example, 1,000 photos of one little leaf from different angles. Unless you're stoned. Look at this video. Cheech and Chong. They guys look so stoned. So you want a variety of different photos and videos so it increases the chance of a sale, right? So I've been mixing up so much stuff out there with cool signs and just things that people maybe, haven't thought about it. And that makes it very less competitive. I mean, you could do research and you could go on Shutterstock and see how much competition there is, but it takes a lot of work. But some things like landscapes and flowers, you could still submit them. Just realize that the pretty things, there are a lot of people like sunsets. It's going to be very competitive because there's a lot of photos of sunsets on these platforms. So anyways, next up is real and authentic is better, okay? And one thing that most experts can agree on is the real photos and videos do better than staged, okay? And that's why I kind of throughout my travels and yesterday I went on a hike, so, as I was going, throughout town and stuff like that, I saw some cool stuff and I took a photo and video of it. So it wasn't too much out of the way. It wasn't too much trouble. Worst case scenario, the photo or video doesn't sell. I didn't go out of my way. I just, throughout my day, I kind of did. And this is also why, this is a side note, UGC, I don't know if you heard about this, it's called user-generated content. It's big on Fiverr. It actually does better for ads because people want to see that. And companies pay top money for that. So it just does better, these real stuff. And I'll give you one more story. I went to an antique store yesterday. I was talking to the lady that had all these cool antiques, right? I was like, and she was telling me that sometimes when she cleans them up, they don't sell as good. People want to see, even one with cobwebs, that's sold. They want the realness of the antique. They don't want to be cleaned up and polished. It's kind of crazy, And there's a couple of stories I've heard about this as well. But people want natural. And this is another reason why I don't really edit my photos and videos, because it takes a lot of time. I just pump them out there. Like even this YouTube, I ain't going to edit this YouTube video. I'm just going to pump it out there. All right. Next up is get lost. And one of the cool things about Microstock, which I'm a big fan of, is I love getting lost. I've traveled all over the place, and when I got off the beaten path, I had the most fun. Some ideas, you can, sit on a park bench for a while, straight on a street that's off the beaten path, and you'll see cool stuff. These hidden gems, right? Traditional mom and pop stores, street graffiti and stuff. Normal people don't take photos and videos of. So don't be normal, okay? Now I gotta say this, but your personal safety is definitely number one. So, don't go down a dark alley in the middle of the night, or something like that. You gotta listen to if something that feels unsafe, don't do it. You can just bounce. And funny thing, I was listening to a YouTube video as I was submitting these puppies, these photos and videos, and it had to do with this true life story about this photographer who was out in the wild. And he sees these bears, a mama bear and cub bears, and he starts taking these photos. It gets super up close, and all of a sudden you see the photo where they turn around, look at him. The next photo, they're running at him. It didn't end very well for the guy, okay? So, yeah, don't get yourself killed over taking a photo. You see it, people taking selfies in the canyon, next thing you know, they fall over. So that's my point. All right, next up. When it comes to quality, this is subjective. I go for okay quality. I don't look for like the best quality or the worst, because if you aim for perfection, nothing's going to get published. You don't know. I'll give you a story. A while ago, I published a TikTok video, right? It was a horrible video. The lens was blurry. I cut out the editing, the words. It was all. I posted. I'm serious. That was one of the best videos I've ever published. I don't know why. I don't know. So you just don't know. When in doubt, post it. These platforms, they'll reject it if it's not good enough. So let the market decide. And I will say this though, if I have an image or a video that's like blurry, I can't stand looking at it. I won't publish it because I don't want to make any people suffer. So that's what I do. But anyways, sometimes I think this too, that sometimes quality is attached to somebody's ego when they want it's not good enough. It's, it's like I think it's an ego thing in some ways. Anyways. But yeah, next up is publish more. When in doubt, this is a numbers game. The more photos and videos you have out there, the more chance of a sale. That's just the truth. The next up is random stuff. I think I've touched on this a little bit earlier, but, I love taking photos of sunsets and flowers and shit. But the reality is a lot of people like taking photos of that and videos. There's a lot of competition. And there's a really good book called Blue Ocean Strategy. It's all about how to go in areas where there's not a lot of competition. And I do this for everything, like blog posts. I do this for, this works for Amazon Direct Publishing. It's all about the keywords. YouTube's a little bit different. YouTube's a strange beast. But you get what I'm saying, okay? You want to find areas where there's not a lot of competition so that you can get seen and stuff like that. All right. Like I'll give you an example, like a fortune cookie, message with a weird message. I mean, nobody's gonna take a photo of that, right? Like a refrigerator magnet, like a funny ass one. I took a photo of that. Boom, right? So there you go. So sometimes things that are not touristy or visually appealing can sell more, like hospital settings, business settings, technologies. You get my point, though. Next up is other platforms, and I have a massive list of a lot of great platforms out there, and I'll include a video as well. If you're not sure on what to take a photo or video of, I actually made a big old video that gives you a shit ton of ideas, like outside the box, boom. And I'll include this in the link below, or I'll put it in the video as well at the end. You can check it out. But yeah, post the photo and video to as many platforms as you can, because if it doesn't sell on one platform, it can sell on another one. And it doesn't take that long. It really doesn't. And there's tools that can do it, but I just been manually do it while I listen to like a really cool, scary story or something kind of entertaining, or whatever, or music. Lastly, well, not lastly, but have fun, okay? Have as much fun as possible, go throughout your day like a scavenger hunt, like you're 12 years old, see some cool stuff, just take a photo or video of it, boom. Don't go crazy, and because if you're having fun, the more likely you are to stick with it. And of course, you want to keep learning and adapting, don't get discouraged if something gets rejected, just move on. Follow other content creators, blogs, apply to more websites, keep uploading, and this is a long-term investment. And this stuff can continue to make you money into the future. And in conclusion, I've had a lot of fun with Microstock, but there's so many other ways to make passive income, like illustrations, AI art. You can create beats and actually sell them. There's a way to do that. There's writing ebooks. I've done a lot of this. Blogging, videos. There's drop shipping, online store. There's building a list. I've had a lot of success with a list as well. So there's a lot of other ways that you can make passive income. But if you're interested in Microstock, and again, I made a video that has all kinds of different ideas on what you can take photos and videos of, so there's no competition. And I'll include that link below, and I'll put it somewhere on the screen here, around there, to help you if you're interested, okay? So hopefully this was this video or whatever was at least a little bit useful. Thanks for your time, and you have a wonderful rest of your day, okay? Bye.